As a tradition of the Soho Forum, we begin with a warm-up act from a great libertarian comic, backed by popular demand, Dave Smith, whose great podcast, Part of the Problem, I myself faithfully listen to. Here he is, the Part of the Problem libertarian comic, Dave Smith. Dave, please come up to the...
Oh, thank you, Gene. Thanks, guys. How is everybody? Welcome. Wow, what a great event. Man, libertarian comic even sounds boring to me. Even as I heard that intro, I was like, man, that sucks. I got to come up with a better thing. I was like, is this guy going to talk to us about the budget for a long time? All right. Well, Obama, the great debate about Obama. Is he great or not? I don't know. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how you guys do all this out. Personally speaking, I do think Obama is great at lots of things. Like killing people with sky robots. He's amazing at that. He's clean. He like best ever, I would say. Spending money, he's like a god. He's like, it's like spending other people's money, he's like MJ in '96. Like just untouchable. I'm sorry. I know there's more, probably, this is usually a more libertarian-leaning event. Today, I think, we brought in some of the lefties, Gene, and that. There they are, they're laughing, finally. It's been years. It's been years they've been suffering through Trevor Noah, finally. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not taking shots at anybody, I'm not. I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure it's funny in South Africa. There's just a cultural barrier, that's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm kidding. I liked Obama, the candidate. He was pretty good. He had a lot of great... Remember that 22-year-old handsome guy? He was like right out of college, and it was all like hope and change, and yes, we can. And now today, it's just President Morgan Freeman comes up, and like, there's been another ISIS attack or something, which it's just not as fun. He doesn't really... Even, did you see his farewell address when at the end he said, yes, we can, again? And it was the first time he said, yes, we can, in like, I think, 8 years, maybe. Like, I remember he used to say that every day. And then he brought it, but he didn't even really sell it that well this time. Like, it used to be like, yes, we can, and like, you believed it. And this time it was like, yes, we can. But you could even hear, like, he said, yes, we can, but it sounded a lot more like, I can't believe Donald Trump's going to be president. Like, this is really ridiculous. How crazy is that? Just enjoy it, okay? We're right here. We're having an open, free-flowing discussion of ideas. This is probably going to be illegal in 3 days. So, like, take it in. Enjoy this, people. Let's have some fun. Trump's coming in. But I think we should enjoy. I kind of like the Trump moment. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. It's crazy. But look, come on. We're at the end of the empire here. We might as well have some fun. I think this is what historians never account for. They're always like, how did Rome fall, or whatever? And it's because no one ever tells you how goddamn entertaining it is when it all happened. Like, I think if you talk to someone who was there when Rome fell, they'd be like, how did you let the empire fall? And he'd be like, are you kidding me? Dude, there was a lion show. And you get to vote if the guy lives or dies at the hour. It's $5. That's what that costs to get into that show. You're not down for that? Like, are you crazy? I mean, am I nuts that we're at the end of the empire? Like, are there maybe a historian or two in the crowd tonight? Tell me of the example in history where there's a republic that becomes a great nation, then it turns into an empire, then it gets itself way too expanded militarily, spends itself way too far into debt, the culture collapses, and then everything works out cool in the end. Like, everything's fine after that. We have a lot of examples of that happening in history. No, it's over, baby. Let's just throw Trump in there and have a good time on the way down. There's a bar over there. Does that not make sense? To me, it makes perfect sense, but I don't know. Obama. I really do think Obama's legacy is very tied to Trump at this point, because that's how it ends, with Trump coming in. And Obama endorsed Hillary, who was a slightly flawed candidate, if I'm being completely honest. There were signs. Now that you look at it in hindsight, there were signs that maybe she wasn't the right person for the job. Like, I remember, did you see at the DNC this year where they said, and this is not like a conspiracy theory, like this is what I think they were trying to do. The campaign openly said this. They said the goal of the Democratic National Convention was to humanize Hillary Clinton. That was their goal. Like, how terrible is your candidate when she's been in the public eye for 27 years? And you're like, the big problem we are having is that other people are not believing that she is in fact one of them. Like, they don't see her as a human. They see her as some type of pantsuit lizard creature from another planet sent here to rule. And the whole convention was just trying to humanize her. Like Bill Clinton got up and he was like, I met Hillary 30 years ago and we fell in love just like humans. And like it was all like very subtle but clearly kind of like just trying to say, she's totally normal, I swear, believe me. Just to surround her with charming people. Like that was their plan. Everywhere they'd go, they'd just like, she'll catch it eventually, I guess. But she lost. I don't know. Obama said he could have beaten Trump if he had ran against Donald Trump. That's what he said. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can beat Donald Trump. I think he found a style of debating that is just bulletproof. It doesn't matter. Do you remember the moment when, so Rand Paul, who's probably, the best candidate in the race, he said, he didn't do great if you paid attention, but wasn't a big win. But there was that one point where Donald Trump said in the debate, and he was like, the problem with TPP is that it doesn't address China's currency manipulation. And then Rand Paul said, maybe I should point out China's not involved in the TPP. And Donald Trump was like, whatever, you're at 1%. And the audience looked at that and they were like, we'll count that as a win for Donald Trump. Like that's like you can't beat that. I don't know what else to say. Okay, by the way, there's not much of a light. Gene just gets closer and closer to me, and then I'm like, I guess this is time. So like once I feel Gene's breath on my ear, I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna start this thing up. Well, anyway, seriously, I really do. Gene, this is a wonderful event you put on here. Thank you so much for having me. Let's have some fun. Thanks, guys. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Dave Smith. The Part of the Problem podcast guy who does